Good morning. Thank you for that alarm from whoever did that. Woke me up. I hereby call this meeting to order and ask everyone, thank you for being seated. I'd like to welcome also former Secretary Mike Patterson, who's with us, Mike Thompson with ACEC, and Larry Petrick with the Asphalt Association. And before we get started, excuse me, I'd like to have a moment of silence to remember those who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. Thank you. Secretary Gatz, you're recognized to present, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. At this time, I would like to recognize Rick Johnson and bring him up for an introduction of our new local government division engineer. So, Rick.
Sir. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. I'm honored to announce to you today the selection of Mr. Matt Mitchell as our district engineer for our local government division. Mr. Mitchell comes to us from District 4, where he most recently served as the District 4 rural construction engineer. Mr. Mitchell is an OSU graduate, earning degrees in biology in 2007, as well as a civil engineering degree in 2014. Please help me welcome Matt to his new role.
Mr. Chairman, we're super excited to have Matt in the role of our local government division engineer. He's got a lot of experience working with our local government partners, whether that's county government, municipal government, and he'll bring that expertise and serve very well in that capacity. So again, excited to have Matt on board with us. At this time, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would recognize Sean Davis to come up and talk a little bit about Ron McDaniel, and we've got a very special presentation to make. So at this point, Sean, if you'd come up.
Okay. All right. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is a very special, bittersweet day for us. Today we're saying goodbye to one of our own. You know, there's a lot of folks that are good employees, and there's some folks that are good people, but, you know, occasionally you run across people that are both. And we're losing one of the ones today. So Mr. Ron McDaniel from District 6 is leaving us, and I'm going to ask him to come up now. We're going to present him with this Route 66 brick, and I'm going to read off what we got written down here. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation recognizes District 6 engineer Ron McDaniel for his 33 years of dedication to the department. Ron is a compassionate and caring leader who makes sound engineering decisions. Notable accomplishments include assisting in the completion of the US 270 four-lane corridor, the US 54 four-lane expansion, and addressing structurally deficient highway bridges. We are proud to present him with this commemorative brick from the historic Route 66 in honor of his retirement, and that is signed by the Governor, Kevin Stitt, Tim Gatz, Mr. Peterson, thank you for signing it, and his official retirement date is the end of September 2023. So Ron, congratulations, and thank you, sir, for everything you've done for us.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, we're going to leave the podium here for the time being because we've got some hardware to receive. And with us, we've got Larry Patrick, the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Asphalt Pavement Association. And I'd ask Larry to come up, join me at the podium, and talk a little bit about some of the awards that some of the work that the department does and accomplishes with the help of some outstanding contractors. So, Larry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Appreciate it. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it's an honor to be here with you today. I can't thank you enough for letting me be a part of this. What's even better is being able to share some good information, some hardware that's coming from the national level on projects that's been completed in Oklahoma. In 2022, Oklahoma won two quality in construction awards. These are awards that are given to projects that get nominated, and they get actually analyzed, evaluated, and rated by a group of third-party engineers to see how they fit in. And actually, this was a great success story for Oklahoma. The first one I'm going to talk about is I-35 between Northeast 10th Street and Northeast 63rd. This project was a quick job that was actually shut down over a weekend, and within 48 hours, this job was completed. And Monday morning, traffic had it wide open. I can't thank enough for District 4, Edmond Residency, along with Haskell Lemon Construction for their hard work. Congratulations, good job. Mr. Chairman, the second project I'd like to talk about is I-40 at near Okemah, moving east about 5 miles. This is a perpetual payment, 218,000 tons, and it also has some innovation. If you'll notice on the plaque, it's got a green color. Well, that green color is for warm mix asphalt that was used on this project. It actually run at lower temperatures, and we're going to have a very durable, long-lasting project. On top of that, there was also some increased use of RAP, recycled asphalt payments in this, so it makes it very sustainable. So once again, District 3, Wewoka Residency, Haskell Lemon Construction, congratulations, good job. Mr. Chairman, The Asphalt Payment Alliance, which is made up of the National Asphalt Payment Association, along with the state asphalt payment associations and the Asphalt Institute, has for many years, since 2001, actually awarded a perpetual payment by performance. Out of this is a project that's over 35 years old, has no more than 4 inches increase in thickness, and actually has a maintenance period or resurfacing period of not less than 13 years. Oklahoma has won 4 of these. 3 by ODOT, 1 by the city of Tulsa. In 2022, APA actually made 2 more categories. One was a perpetual payment by conversion, in which they take technology or methodology that would change and rehab a payment to be performing as a perpetual payment. And they also added a perpetual payment award by design. And this actually is designed to be a perpetual payment. Oklahoma won perpetual payment by conversion. If you all remember, back years ago, I-40 near Hinton, Oklahoma, from milepost 102.2 to 104.2 was always problematic. 104.2 was always problematic, cracking, rutting, and so on. It just so happened that was able to take research that was done at the National Center of Asphalt Technology Test Track in Oklahoma Section N8, in which we were using high modified binder along with rich intermediate layer. Then in 2012, that was what was used to rehab this section of roadway. I can't thank District 5, Clinton Residency, Gary Fitz with Creighton Polymer, along with Haskell Construction for helping me gather all the data to introduce this as a nomination for this award. Congratulations, District 5.
Mr. Chairman, all I want to close the award ceremony with is, number one, welcome to Matt. We're excited to have him on the team. Number two, Ron McDaniel and the work that he's done for the people of the state of Oklahoma has been outstanding, and we're gonna duly miss him and wish him well in his retirement. And you know, you've heard me say many times that working with our contractor partners and our consulting engineering partners and the department's resources, we do road construction, we do transportation better than anybody. And I think these are some examples of some extremely successful projects. And more importantly, they're an example of the government working with the private sector partners that we have and achieving outstanding quality. So want to recognize that and certainly appreciate the time to have this ceremony this morning.
That's great. Thank you. And congratulations to the department. Mr. Patrick, thank you for bringing those recognitions to us. It's hard work by a lot of people. Thank you very much. All right, item 127 is approval of the minutes of the transportation. Sorry.
Could you call roll, please?
Oh, sorry.
We did it. I thought we checked. it
No,
electronically.
that's, well, apparently, yeah, do we still vote? I mean, we're here.
Who's gonna call roll, and Stephanie will call the commissioners, and they'll identify
Okay. Sorry.
Ready? Mr. Coburn? Mr. Grimsley?
Present.
Mr. Shannon?
Here.
Mr. Freimiller?
Here.
Mr. Dyson?
Here.
Mr. Alexander?
Here.
Mr. LaForge?
Here.
Mr. Junk? Mr. Peterson?
Here. Roll call. How did I forget roll call? That's what you were mouthing to me, Sarah? Sarah's over there, excuse me, trying to give me instructions. All right, item 127 is approval of the minutes of the Transportation Commission meeting on August 7th, 2023. Do I have a motion for approval of item 127?
Move to be approved.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Dyson.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, please cast your vote. And the motion passes. Thank you. The consent docket contains items 128 through 133. If any commissioner would like to pull an individual item out for discussion, he may do so at this time. Otherwise, I'll hear a motion for approval of the consent docket. Do I have a motion?
Motion, Dyson.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Shannon. Thank you. Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 134 is a programming item. Mr. Tegler, you are recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mr. Secretary. Item 134, I have one programming item this month in Commission District 8. Department requests approval to program a project to repair vehicle impact damage to the I-44 bridge over 49th West Avenue in Tulsa County. The estimated cost is $50,000 using state aid funds. Project can be ready for a January 2024 letting, and the party responsible for the damage is known. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions if you have any this morning.
All right, you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 134?
Move for approval, LaForge.
Ford, thank you. And a second?
Freimiller, second.
Thank you. Please cast your vote. And the motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 135 is engineering contracts. Mr. Tegler, you're recognized to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have 7 parts this month, 1 statewide and 6 project-specific contracts. And I would like to also say the following projects are all in the current 8-year construction work plan, and we intend to use federal fiscal year 2024 federal funds for these contracts. Part A is our statewide, all districts, on-demand biological assessment and studies, monitoring and surveys of threatened and endangered species, bald eagle, and migratory birds. The department has selected 5 firms to provide these services. They are Blackbird Environmental Solutions and Innovations, HDR Engineering, Olson, and Stantec Consulting Services. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 5 contracts is $1,250,000. Part B is LaFleur County in District 2. The department has selected Native Strategies to provide preliminary engineering and construction plans for State Highway 112. The proposed project improvements are reconstruct and rehabilitate the existing facility. Total not to exceed amount is $874,545. This is phase 1 of 2-phase contract. Part C in Pottawatomie County in District 3. The department has selected Tetra Tech to prepare construction plans for State Highway 9A. The proposed project improvements are reconstruct, rehabilitate existing facility, and add shoulders to a 2-lane road. Total not to exceed amount is $754,227. Part D in Harper County in District 6. Department has selected H.W. Lochner to prepare construction plans for US 283. Proposed project improvements are adding sidewalk and shoulders to a 2-lane road and intersection modification. Total not to exceed amount is $1,603,000. Part E in Texas County in District 6. Department has selected Grossman and Keith Engineering to prepare construction plans for State Highway 136. Proposed project improvements are adding shoulders to a 2-lane road. Total not to exceed amount is $1,983,745. Part F, in Creek County and District 8, Department has selected Cowan Group Engineering to prepare construction plans for State Highway 66. Proposed project improvements are reconstruct, rehabilitate the existing facility. Total not to exceed amount is $664,750. And finally, Part G in Tulsa County, District 8 as well. Department has selected Consor Engineers to prepare construction plans for State Highway 51. Proposed project improvements, reconstruct, rehabilitate the existing facility. Total not to exceed amount is $796,100. Approval is recommended. I stand for any questions that you have this morning.
Thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 135?
So move.
Commissioner Shannon, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, LaForge.
Forge, thank you. Any discussion? All right, please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 136 is engineering contract supplements. Mr. Tegler, you're recognized to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This month, I have 4 parts. Part A is the Wagner County and District 1. Previously authorized Poe and Associates to perform preliminary engineering and construction plans for State Highway 51. Proposed project improvements are improve access, add traffic control devices, intersection modification, alignment study, and relocate facility to a new alignment. Supplement not to exceed amount for this supplement is $481,833. Part B in Garvin County in District 3. Department previously authorized Smith Roberts Balderschweiler to prepare construction plans for State Highway 29. The proposed project improvements are adding shoulders to a 2-lane road, geometric improvements, and replacing bridge on an offset alignment. Supplement not to exceed amount is $66,675. Part C in K County in District 4, Department previously authorized HNTB Corporation to prepare construction plans for US 60. Proposed project improvements are reconstruct and rehabilitate the existing facility and add shoulders to a 2-lane road. Supplement not to exceed amount is $249,500. And finally, Part D in Woodward County in District 6. The department previously authorized Walter P. Moore and Associates to prepare construction plans for State Highway 34. Proposed project improvements are adding shoulders to a 2-lane road. Supplement not to exceed amount is $4,500. Approval is recommended. And answer any questions if you gentlemen have anything.
Thank you. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion to approve item 136?
One quick question, if I
Oh,
could.
excuse me.
On supplements, is that typically an expansion of scope, or is it just running into the unknowns type thing?
Could be all the above,
All the above,
Commissioner.
okay, thank you.
No. All right. Thank you. Do I have a motion for approval of item 136?
LaForge, so moved.
Thank you. And thank you. Any discussion, further discussion? All right, please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 137 is change orders with a cumulative total of $75,000 or less. This is for information only. Mr. Leonard, you're recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'd like to present item number 137, parts A through double G. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders of $75,000 or less. This item is presented for your information only. No action is necessary, but I'd certainly be glad to answer any questions.
Sure, please.
It's a little lower. Are we seeing a trend down, or is it just in the noise of fluctuation?
It's just normal fluctuation.
All right. If there are no questions, Mr. Leonard, you are recognized to present item 138, change orders with a cumulative total greater than $75,000.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, item 138, parts A through double K. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders greater than $75,000. Your approval is recommended, and I'd certainly be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Commissioners. All right. Do I have a motion for approval of item 138?
Motion, Dyson.
Thank you.
Second,
And a second, Freimiller. Thank you. Any further discussion? No. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 139 is termination of highway construction contract. Mr. Davis, you're recognized to present.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, item 139 is termination of highway construction contract 210290. This is a resurfacing project on State Highway 51 in the city of Wagner. Becco Contractors Incorporated executed contract number 210290 on November 9, 2021 to resurface asphalt paving on State Highway 51 in Wagner County. Becco has notified the department that at present it does not have the resources to perform the work required by the subject contract because those resources are engaged to complete other currently active projects in Districts 1, 4, and 8. Due to circumstances not under the control of the contractor, this project was delayed substantially from the anticipated start date. This matter was discussed early, and the contractor was asked to delay their start until preceding work could be completed, including city utility work and 2 companion ODOT projects, adding ADA-compliant sidewalks and streetscaping in the city of Wagner. Becco redirected the resources to other projects and proceeded to bid future work as well, some of which is still ongoing. In order to successfully complete this much-needed project within the city of Wagner in a manner that avoids a potential lengthy delay compensation and price adjustment negotiations for items that have seen substantial cost escalation since this contract was awarded, the department has determined that termination of this contract is in the best interest of the department pursuant to ODOT Standard Specifications 10811, and it be rebid at a later date. As of this date, the department has not paid and does not owe any amounts under this contract, and Becco has performed no compensable work, is not obligated in any amount to subcontractors, has not purchased or committed to receive delivery of any material, and owes no money on the subject contract. Therefore, it is the desire of the department to request the commission terminate the reference contract without compensation or claim and provide written notice of termination to Becco effective immediately on this date. And you see the resolution there below. It is our recommendation that this be approved, and I would answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
Yes, I do. Do you anticipate a competitive pool when you rebid it?
We certainly hope so, yes. I would think so, and that's part of the state.
All right.
Yep.
All right, you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 139?
Motion, Dyson.
Yes, thank you. And a second?
Alexander.
Thank you, Commissioner Alexander. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 140 is proposed bid openings. Mr. Hackney, you are recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 140, proposed bid openings, consists of the final October 2023 and the tentative November 2023 bid openings. The department recommends approval.
All right. You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 140?
So moved, Grimsley.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Frymiller.
Thank you. Any discussion, further discussion? All right, please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Hackney. Item 141 is awards. Mr. Dels, you are recognized to present.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. Item 141 are the recommendations for award from the department. My part is in 4 parts this morning, so bear with me. Part A, cancellation of award. Project number TAP 255D 610 and a whole AG was bid on July 13th, 2023, with the contract DBE goal of 16% and subsequently awarded at the August 7th, 2023 commission meeting. The project is funded with 100% city funds, and thus no federal funds are associated with the construction contract. Since the construction contract will not be using federal funds, Oklahoma Constitution Article 2, Section 36A, provides that the state will not grant preferential treatment to any individual in public contracting except to maintain eligibility for federal funding. Therefore, the contract should not have been bid with the DBE goal, and it is recommended that the award of the contract be rescinded. Once rescinded, the contract will be rebid without a DBE goal at the next earliest bid opening. Part B was the August 8th emergency bid opening. This is for your information only. On July 21st, 2023, the ODOT director declared an emergency on the US 75 bridge over Polecat Creek in Tulsa County. An emergency bid opening was held on August 8th, 2023, with the intent of entering into a contract with a local contractor to repair the bridge. A contract was awarded at that time to Logos Construction for $248,246.80. Work began on August 10th and is estimated to have a construction time of 30 days, and I hear that project has been completed. Now, Part C are recommendations from the August 10th bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from the August 10th bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. It's call orders 100, 120, 125, 130, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, 175, 190, 195, and 200. It is recommended that the following items from the August 10th bid opening referred to by call order be rejected. That's call orders 180 and 185. In the last part, Part D, is from the August 17th bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from the August 17th bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. That's call orders 300, 307, 314, 321, 328, 349, 363, 370, 377, 379, 391, and 398. This includes the recommendations for awards. Approval is requested.
Thank you, Mr. Dels. You've heard
Yes,
the
sir.
presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of item 141?
So move.
Commissioner Shannon, thank you. Do I have a second?
Fred Miller, second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, I have one question on 141A. What was the general range? What was the contract amount? I'm just curious.
Which number was that again?
141A, the cancellation.
Okay. The contract amount was, just a second. $1,011,358.
Okay. Do we have special thresholds for DBE? Do we have some that we set aside for that if it's federally funded? Or I'm just curious how we do that.
Yeah, when we receive the estimate for the project, we break it down into these different work categories.
Gotcha.
And that's submitted to our contract compliance group. We have a committee that looks at those and assign a goal to it based on a calculation.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion for approval of item 141?
Press my motion. We do have a motion in a second.
Sorry, I'm having a rough day. All right. Are we ready to vote?
Ready.
All right. Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Dels.
Commissioners.
Item 142 is an update of the I-35 corridor study. This is for information only. Mr. Taylor, you're recognized to present.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the commission. Thank you for the opportunity to present our progress on our ongoing work to identify and address critical needs along the I-35 corridor between Oklahoma City and the Red River. Interstate 35 is a vital transportation corridor that is essential to the economic well-being of the central United States. It is one of two major north-south interstates west of Mississippi River, and it has state, national, and international significance. I-35 provides a vital connection between the people, goods, services, and markets, and it helps to sustain a strong economy and improve the quality of life for everyone in the region. In order to provide a safe, reliable, and productive freight transportation system to support a growing economy and population, an increased focus on I-35 is essential. Preservation of our system is critical, and the takeaway is that status quo is not possible. As demands on our system continue to increase, we must continue to work toward new and better solutions. Our ODOT leadership and the transportation commissioners have identified this need and pushed to establish this committee to move Oklahoma forward. We have seen and will continue to see investments in I-35 from other states such as Texas. TxDOT has identified the vast growth and the need along this corridor and has programmed approximately $2.5 billion along the I-35 corridor leading up to and approaching Oklahoma to bring 6 lanes to the border while preserving right-of-way for an ultimate 8-lane configuration. Currently, ODOT has $491.5 million dedicated to 35 miles of I-35 of the 126-mile-long I-35 corridor within our 8-year construction work plan. This committee is charged with evaluating and determining a path forward for Oklahoma, starting with an evaluation of I-35 through identifying what we have and what our needs are. Back one, there we go. The data collection and analysis necessary to manage the transportation system is extensive and complex. With thoughtful consideration of these complexities, the department has selected important and meaningful measures. It is anticipated that the dashboard will evolve to become a concise snapshot of the progress of I-35 and our investments in safety, existing road configuration, pavement type, bridges, collision history, ability to widen, and cost will all be taken into account and documented. Through the creation of a report and a dashboard, these elements can serve as the backbone or tools that help guide and direct our path forward. The I-35 Committee has identified 4 necessary deliverables that convey the magnitude and urgency of the deficiencies and the needs within the corridor. A dashboard will provide a dynamic and interactive tool to convey extensive and complex information in a continually updated, easily digested format. A report will provide a comprehensive analysis and assist in identifying the magnitude of the needs within the I-35 corridor, propose an execution strategy, and address funding needs. A presentation will provide an executive summary of our findings and a demonstration of the dashboard. A public-facing website will be provided as a repository for information provided. I-35 is critical to Oklahoma and to the nation. Areas of greatest needs are along the north and south ends of the corridor, from Purcell north to I-40 and from the Red River north to the Ardmore Airport. TxDOT is adding 6 lanes along I-35 and potentially expanding to 8 lanes within the next 15 years. There is $2.5 billion worth of investments included within the Texas Unified Transportation Program over the next 10 years within the I-35 corridor leading into Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, there is $3 billion in needs along the I-35 within our study area. Approximately $500 million is currently programmed in the 8-year construction work plan. At current investment level, it would take almost 50 years to address the entire corridor. To overcome operational and capacity deficiencies in a timely manner, an all-the-above approach will be required, including grants, loans, bonds, and partnerships. Investing in I-35 is an investment in the future of our region. It will create jobs, improve safety, reduce congestion, and help ensure that the highway can continue to meet the needs of the region for years to come. I stand for questions.
Thank you very much. That was fascinating. Questions? I know Commissioner Shannon, you're on top of this.
I want to first of all say thank you to the staff and team at ODOT. They've been terrific. The impetus of this study was really out of concern for the safety of Oklahomans and to particularly raise awareness to the dire need that we have on that corridor for capacity. We've already experienced, I know we all are aware of the headlines. We saw the fatalities that we suffered just a few months ago, and a lot of that was for a lot of reasons. We have to do our part, and I just when we talk about Texas, investing $2 billion to expand to 6 lanes, well, you can imagine what that is going to do for the already congested area that we see. For me, the purpose was for us to do our part as a commission to raise awareness to the public, to the legislature, and all stakeholders about really the dire need that we have for the I-35 corridor, and to talk about some of the limitations that, I mean, there are some natural organic limitations that we have to really doing, and resources is always one. They're not finite, but certainly there are some other naturals as well. So thank you for the work. I know we're getting close to being able to finish up the study, and I appreciate everybody's work on it.
Yep.
I'd just like to say thank you, TW, and your group. That helps to know what's coming in the future.
Yes, sir.
I think it's very, very good of your group to look out ahead. I think that's a very important quarter for the state of Oklahoma, as you've described, and appreciate your help on that.
And I'd just like to say that I don't think we can overstate the problem down there, because everyone read the reports this summer. The DFW Metroplex is projected by 2030 to be the third largest. It's going to overtake Chicago. And all across, anything impacted by the DFW area, 69, we could literally take our entire budget for District 2, pump it into Highway 69, and still not make the advances we need to. And that would be ignoring the other 1,600 miles in our district. So I think we're going to have to take this very seriously, because there's going to be induced demand when they start bringing 6 lanes, and probably in 75, 69, similar things are going to happen. It's not slowing down. And so that's not happening on any of the other borders in the state. That's why I've been so critical of our allocation process. I think we need to modernize that and look at it and take this into account. It's real, and it's impacting us pretty heavily down there. So, no, I'll yield.
Well said. Thank you for that discussion. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Item 143 is the Director's Report. Secretary Gatz, you're recognized to present.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I want to pause for just a second because as I understand, I believe Chairwoman Nicole Miller with the House of Representatives, and who represents a very important committee in our world, Transportation, General Government Appropriations and Budget. So I'd like to recognize Chairwoman Miller in the room with us. Chairwoman Miller does an outstanding job, and you know, the thing that I always want to recognize, and she epitomizes it, is someone that's legitimately concerned about the transportation future in the state of Oklahoma, and very super supportive and attentive to not just the highway system needs, but the needs of the total transportation system across the state. So again, we're pleased to have her in the room with us. I also want to commend Brian Taylor and the team, certainly Commissioner Shannon, and the focus that we've put on I-35 south of Oklahoma City, because that's where it needs to be. As Commissioner Grimsley points out, we have a problem across the southern border. 69 is certainly has needs also, but the thing that we can't do is ignore it. We have to start to put together plans and a more clear understanding of the challenges that are going to be presented, because they're coming. You know, when you look at the work that Texas is doing, when you look at the population increase, not just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but Houston, Austin, San Antonio, the population levels that are just south of the Red River are growing exponentially. And with that, it's going to come traffic volumes and needs across the southern border. So we've got to be prepared to address those. And, you know, while the resources may not exist to do everything that we want to right now, we have to begin to look at putting projects together, putting a long-range plan together to make some improvements. That challenge, even in the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, likewise in the Tulsa area, the traffic growth that we've seen even in Oklahoma surrounding our major metropolitan areas is significant, and we can't ignore it. So we've got to start thinking about not just I-35 South, but I-35 North, and what improvements we're going to have to make there. I-40 east-west across this country is another route that's extremely important, especially in the wintertime, to cross-country traffic. And we've got to figure out ways to continue to make investments to support freight, passenger movements across this country. So again, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the final report. And I think the dashboard, again, you see us embracing some GIS technology and the ability to overlay data onto those reports. I'm super excited about having that available to not just us, but to the public to kind of see what's going on in the corridor. So good work so far, and look forward to finalizing that. I want to speak just for a minute about a grant that the department received that is FHWA's Accelerated Innovation Deployment and Demonstration Program grant. Nearly $840,000 to replace 18 expansion joints and 18 fixed joints of the north and southbound I-35 Cimarron overflow bridges. That's on the Logan and Payne County line. FHWA encourages the use of tools that can improve safety on our bridges and in our work zones, and provides incentive grants and other resources that offset some of the risk of implementing something that's relatively new. So we're grateful for the opportunity. The pilot project is designed to minimize both environmental impacts by reducing the construction time and making a more durable repair that also we will, in anticipation of good success, we will continue to use that product for the future. The product is ultra-high performance concrete that's being used as part of this project, and that's being considered not only by Oklahoma but by FHWA for a variety of highway infrastructure applications. One of the locations that we've used ultra-high performance concrete is the US 281 Route 66 bridge out at Bridgeport, and we think that that's going to be a very successful treatment. So excited to have a grant and a chance to use that in a different manner. We will be in Guyman on Friday on US 54. The commission, you may recall, considered and awarded a $34 million project out there on Highway 54 through Guyman. That section of Highway 54 carries over 13,000 vehicles a day, and we're going to be out there doing a groundbreaking. Project's going to resurface from 5th Street and be about 2.5 miles long northeast through town, provides a major thoroughfare improvement, and it'll help daily commuters and visitors get around town. So we're really looking forward to doing that groundbreaking at 1 p.m. on Friday to kick off the important project and recognize the significance to the community of Guyman and to Highway 54 across the Panhandle. Again, another facility that we see tremendous traffic volume growth on, and a lot of freight traffic using Highway 54. Appreciate your consideration this morning of the couple of projects, in particular US 81 roundabout at State Highway 66 in El Reno. That's a $10 million project, and that's going to let us convert a signalized intersection into a roundabout and really improve traffic conditions between Interstate 40 and that intersection on 81 and 66. And we believe that adding the roundabout in this area is going to improve traffic flow and enhance safety, which is exactly what we need it to do. Roundabouts are some kind of a relatively new but kind of old treatment. You know, I tell folks that I spent the first part of my career taking out traffic circles, and now we're putting them back in. But the way that they move traffic today in the modern design is extremely efficient. Not a solution for every location, but at this particular location, I think it will work very well, and really looking at safety and reducing some accidents. So we're excited to get that thing started, and take about 1.5 years to complete, and we expect it to start construction before the year's end. So, and then US 69, Commissioner Grimsley, once again, we've got a improvement to a section of 69 at McAllister. We've invested heavily in the McAllister area to help increase and enhance the traffic flows and also increase and enhance safety. A very challenging part of Highway 69 through McAllister. And this project is a pavement improvement, and what it will really do is address a pavement that's been conditionally needy and a really maintenance demand for District 2. And the volumes of traffic that we experience on Highway 69, it's extremely important that we address this location and get some of Anthony's folks out of harm's way out there performing maintenance all the time. So appreciate your consideration and award of that this morning. At this point, we've got a little bit of a video for you. This is a project update on I-40 resurfacing at Morgan Road. And I think this is an example of innovation in construction and sequencing, where we once again worked very carefully and closely with the contractor on some ideas and some plans to minimize traffic disruption in a very high volume location. And that included nighttime work, that included some closures to a single lane on the weekends, and a lot of innovative construction activities. So the significance of this is we also were able to avoid tax-free weekend and Labor Day. And, again, the travel and public and the volume that I-40 carries around that location is significant. And by working around those and minimizing traffic impacts, we reduced the conflict points for the travel and public, and thereby enhanced and increased their safety. So, again, I'm really grateful to the innovation that all of the field districts, but in particular D4 on projects like this, has shown. And we completed this work about 2 months ahead of schedule. And it was heavily incentivized. The incentivized to minimize those traffic conflicts amounted to about $480,000. And again, those are dollars well spent based on the impact to the users out there. And when we have one of these projects that doesn't go exactly right, I get lots of phone calls. And I'll tell you, I got very few on this particular project. And once again, I'm proud that we are not afraid to innovate, not afraid to try new things to, at the end of the day, minimize disruption to the travel and public. So again, congratulations to District 4. Our safety campaign this month is related to rail safety. Rail Safety Week is September 18th through the 24th. And, again, this is something that we work hard to try to make sure that we're providing educational opportunities for pedestrians, bicyclists, and motor vehicle drivers about unsafe behaviors around our railroad crossings and adjacent to our railroads. The national push is hashtag Stop Track Tragedies. And again, that's a focus of the Rail Safety Week that's coming. Oklahoma has 3,450 railroad crossings statewide. Part of the recognition during Rail Safety Week will be the Skydance Bridge over I-40 is going to light up red for Rail Safety Week on September the 20th. And we continue to work hard with our Operation Lifesaver, our partner organization who is raising awareness about rail safety across the state with a particular focus on these at-grade rail crossings. Oklahoma's made good progress over the last dozen years, but we've got work ahead of us and a ways to go yet. And lastly, I would close with a reminder, our first of its kind Safe Oklahoma Summit, focused on transportation safety and all different facets of transportation safety, is scheduled for October 4th. Registration is now open, and that's a full-day event at the Embassy Suites. It's a free event for anybody that wants to participate. And again, we're excited about that first safety summit and all of the good dialogue that we're going to accomplish at that event. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, I would stand for any questions that the commission may have of me.
Thank you. Commissioners, comments, questions?
Just have one real quick, if it's okay. First, I want to thank Commissioner Shannon for convening that group, because that puts a much-needed focus on the issue. One of the things that I've noticed is that ODOT is better off at collecting data. There's some great dashboards out there. But I would love to talk with some of the staff. We don't have to do it in the commission meeting, but I'd love to talk to some of the staff on how that can be used for predictive capabilities. A car crosses Red River, it's going north, or a truck. How do we predict, how certain are we on the path? Are they going up I-35, coming up, going across I-40? I think it would be useful for long-term planning if we could at least look at trends and see where things are going. So I don't know if that's possible, but I'd love to talk to staff about that.
Commissioner, it's absolutely possible because we do predictive modeling, and using the I-35 corridor as an example, especially looking at freight traffic, a tremendous amount of the freight traffic on 35 comes into the Oklahoma City metropolitan proper, and turns. I think the biggest volume movement we see is up the Turner Turnpike, headed northeast. But again, I never want to minimize the significance of Interstate 40 as a coast-to-coast route because it's heavily trafficked and heavily used. And again, especially as the weather becomes more, less conducive to travel on the northern tier, I-40 volumes pick up. So, but again, we have the ability to do those analytics, and we'd love to have maybe Chief Taylor and Lauren sit down with you and kind of talk about that more. I think one of the things I see coming that is that's exciting is how AI can begin to help us if we use it properly with some of that predictive modeling, and not just with traffic flows, but of demographic growth, because that's really what we're going to need to pay attention to, just like we're seeing south of the border. Well, we're growing north of the border too. So.
Well, it's asymmetric. All the growth in Texas is happening on the north side of DFW. That's where it's all expanding very quickly. So, and that's why I question, I don't know how accurate the traditional models might be when you have this asymmetric growth going on like that. I don't know.
Yep, we're happy to schedule some time with you, Commissioner, and we'll make that happen.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
I'd like to do a thank you to Trenton January, District 4 engineer, for the job he done, and all the contractors and suppliers that helped make the I-40 Morgan project go as smooth and as flawless as it did. I never heard one complaint, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. And the thing I'd tell you is, we received a nice award from Larry Patrick this morning for some asphalt work. I expect that one will be next in line, because again, exceptional job by the contractor, exceptional job of us partnering and working together, and that has to be recognized. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would just like to throw in one more time and say thank you very much, Ron McDaniels, for all the hard work you've done and the many years you've put here with the state. And it's just been a joy working with you these past 10 or 12 years. And thank you very much. And our part of the state can certainly tell he's been there. So thank you very much.
Hear, hear.
Very good. All right.
Thank you,
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. If commissioners have no other comments, I need to hear a motion for item 144, which is adjournment.
LaForge, so moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Second, Dyson.
Please cast your vote. Motion passes. We are adjourned.